Why the didn't y'all pay back y'all Klarna debt? Am I the only one that's trying to keep them in business?
Klarna is pretty much going bankrupt because no one is paying them back.
Here's Affirm, so here it is.
You ever look at your bank account and say, I can't afford this now, but maybe future me can? Welcome to the magical world of buy now, panic later, where paying in full makes financial anxiety feel like a group project. But guess what? The company's giving us this pay later freedom? Yeah, they're buried in debt too. So buy now, pay later BNPL companies, think Afterpay, Klarna, Affirm, are now sitting on over $500 billion in outstanding debt. That's right, trillion, with a T. Like Taylor Swift's next album sales if she dropped a triple deluxe version with a personal voicemail from Travis Kelce. And here's where it gets sketchy. These BNPL loans were never supposed to be long-term. The whole idea is buy now, pay later, not buy now, stress forever. They're marketed as short-term, interest-free loans meant to be paid off in 6 to 8 weeks. You know, quick little sprints, not marathons with a limp and no water. But people aren't paying them off, they're just stacking. One BNPL purchase on top of another, like financial Jenga with no hand-eye coordination. It's like Lay's chips. You can't have just one. Except instead of salty snacks, it's $90 leggings and the Impulse electronics. And every time someone misses a payment, that short-term debt starts to snowball, late fees, interest, credit score hits. Suddenly, that $80 pair of shoes turns into $200 worth of regret. Meanwhile, these companies are handing out credit like it's candy on Halloween. Except the kind that comes with a 30 APR jump scare. But under the hood, things are shaky. Because unlike banks, many BNPL companies don't have to report their lending like traditional credit institutions. So the debt is harder to track, harder to regulate, and a lot easier to hide. Financial transparency? Never heard of her. And now the bubble is swelling. BNPL firms are starting to quietly admit what analysts already suspected. People aren't just falling behind, they're drowning. This isn't just a few missed payments. It's the beginning of a systemic debt spiral, one TikTok haul at a time. Back in the day, aka 2000, when Vine still existed and avocado toast was a personality,
Don't you die, because you haven't lived up to you tried Popeye's new 5-piece chicken and dinner bucket.
BNPL companies strutted onto the scene with the confidence of a tech bro on Red Bull and zero sleep. No, we're not loan sharks, they promised, flashing that friendly fintech smile. We're just revolutionizing shopping. We're making it easier for you to break up your $80 hoodie into 4 cute little payments of $19.99. No interest, no stress, just get nice shit. And we said, fuck it. Because who doesn't want to turn a Target run into a flexible finance plan? Investors, they ate it up. Venture capital started flowing in faster than iced coffee orders in July. Billions were poured into these companies, hyped as the future of consumer finance. With a sleek app, some pastel branding, and zero credit checks, they positioned themselves as the anti-bank for the Instagram generation. And regulators? Well, they were too busy trying to figure out what a TikTok was. So BNPL companies got the green light to grow unchecked, scooting right past traditional credit laws like a Tesla in the HOV lane. Suddenly, everyone was treating their online cart like a wish list with a payment plan. That $400 haul? No problem. Just click Pay in 4 and worry about it later because apparently financial responsibility was so 2008. Now, on the surface, BNPL and credit cards look pretty similar. Buy now, cry later, get slapped with fees if your brain forgets your due date. But credit cards? They're the golden goose for banks, like insanely profitable. We're talking 4 times more profitable than any other type of consumer loan. Mortgages, auto loans, student debt, all of it. Why? Because credit cards are basically the financial version of a casino. The house always wins. Interest charges, late fees, balance transfers, annual fees, reward gimmicks that lure you in and trap you with 25% APR. It's a gold mine. A legal, shiny, plastic gold mine. Now contrast that with BNPL companies, who came in like the cool disruptors. No interest, no fees, just 4 easy payments, bro. But behind the scenes, it's a hot mess. These companies are bleeding money, like lost $500 million this quarter kind of bleeding. And what's their solution? Don't worry, we cut our customer service team and replaced it with a chatbot that doesn't understand sarcasm. So, cost savings. They've built entire business models on razor-thin margins in the hope that most people will pay back on time. Spoiler alert, they aren't. And without charging sky-high interest like credit cards do, these companies are stuck in an awkward place, like trying to run a marathon in Yeezy slides. And investors? They're starting to notice. Wall Street's enthusiasm is cooling faster than a pumpkin spice latte in January. Real quick, this video is sponsored by Insfers. Insfers is a brand new fintech platform that just launched, and they're building something seriously game-changing. They're using blockchain and stablecoins like USDC to make cross-border payments instant, secure, and way more accessible, even in places without stable internet. Whether you're sending money to family overseas, running a business, or just sick of insane fees and slow transfers, Insfers is designed to be your universal digital wallet. Low fees, multi-currency support, and offline syncing? Yeah, it's kind of the future. Want in early? Join the waitlist now at insfers.com for exclusive early access before the app fully rolls out. Now back to this Klarna bullshit. You ever hear someone say, "I afterpaid those concert tickets because I felt less guilty"? Yeah, that's not just vibes. That's real psychology at work. See, buy now, pay later isn't just a payment method. It's a mental trick. Your brain loves it. Why? Because it doesn't feel like debt. It's marketed as clean, easy, interest-free until it's not, and broken down into cute little digestible chunks. 4 easy payments? That doesn't sound like debt. That sounds like self-care. Like debt, but make it aesthetic. Credit cards feel like your financially irresponsible ex. BNPL feels like your chill, non-judgmental friend who just wants you to treat yourself and worry later. And that illusion? It's powerful. Because suddenly you're not spending $400 on Chris Brown tickets. You're spending $100 4 times. Psychologically, that hurts less. Like diet spending. A little hit now, and 3 more you'll conveniently forget about until they show up mid-paycheck. It's why people will afterpay literally anything. $6 matcha? Afterpay? Skincare haul? Afterpay. A random Etsy necklace from a shop in Slovenia? Absolutely Afterpay. Gas, not yet, but give it a month. And the more normalized it gets, the more detached people feel from the actual cost of what they're buying. It's not that folks are reckless, it's that BNPL is designed to feel harmless. Soft colors, friendly language, zero interest promises. But that harmlessness? That's the trap. Because when those payments start stacking, it's no longer self-care, it's debt with a filter. Now, let's talk about the real gold mine, your data. These apps don't just track your payments. They know everything. When you shop, how often? Which category tempts you the most? How many times you almost bought something before finally caving in at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday? They know the exact second your self-control clocks out. It's not just buy now, pay later. It's buy now and we'll remember that you do this every time you're sad and scrolling Shein. They're basically TikTok, but for your wallet. Algorithmic temptation backed by behavioral finance. Remember Afterpay Day? Yeah, that wasn't a deal. That was a data-driven trap, disguised as a vibe. They studied your habits and served up just enough fake urgency and pastel aesthetics to make you feel like you'd be losing money by not shopping. And you thought it was just a sale. Here's where things stop being cute. For a lot of users, BNPL isn't about treating themselves. It's about surviving. People are literally using Pay in 4 for groceries. Not shoes, not video games. Groceries. Bread, eggs, and off-brand Cheerios. A Federal Reserve study found that over 50% of BNPL users only used it because they couldn't afford the purchase otherwise. No cash, no credit, no problem. Just pay later and pray. Sure, some people are financing Yeezys they'll wear twice, but many others are just trying to stretch their paycheck until Thursday. It's not financial empowerment. It's debt dressed up like convenience. So when people say BNPL is better than credit cards, just know, sometimes it's not about the tool. It's about how desperate people are to use it. Let's talk numbers. In just one quarter, Klarna raked in $182 million in late fees. Sounds impressive, right? Well, they also lost $136 million from loans that went poof. Never repaid. Ghosted harder than your Hinge match after what you doing text at 11 p.m. It's like running a lemonade stand and giving away half your cups because people promise to Zelle you later. BNPL companies are bleeding money while trying to make you feel like the irresponsible one. Meanwhile, you're financing frozen pizza and dog shampoo. They're trying to explain to investors why they need another billion in funding. Even the big dogs are getting annoyed. Retail giants like Walmart and DoorDash said, "We'll work with BNPL, but only if the fees are lower." Because remember, these companies charge retailers up to 8% per transaction, which is bananas compared to Visa's 2%. So, what did the BNPL companies do? They folded. Took the smaller cut. Lost more money. Because in their world, losing slightly less money than before is considered a win. It's like saying, "Hey, I still got robbed, but this time they only took my shoes, not my wallet." Long story short, even the companies enabling BNPL are sick of BNPL. We've seen this movie before. Uber made rides cheap. Now you're paying $35 to go 10 minutes and your driver's name is Steve, but not that one. Airbnb used to be a budget-friendly alternative. Now it's $400 a night, $150 cleaning fee, and we kindly ask that you mow the lawn before you leave. Netflix was ad-free. Now it's pay more or watch pharmaceutical commercials between episodes of Bridgerton. BNPL? Same trajectory, fewer perks, more fine print, higher late fees, interest rates sneakier than a McDonald's ice cream machine because once the growth stops, the milking begins. And guess what? We're the cows. And we are broke. At first, buy now, pay later seemed like the cool kid of consumer finance, a chill alternative to predatory credit cards, a little helper when payday was just too far away. But now, it's just a shiny, unregulated way to borrow money you don't have, from companies that also don't have money. It's the financial equivalent of two drunk friends lending each other $20 and hoping it all just works out. And you know what? Sometimes you get those Chris Brown tickets. Sometimes you get debt collectors calling you about a candle you bought in 2022. So what do you think? Is buy now, pay later the future of finance or just a payday loan? And if you're wondering why people are relying on BNPL just to buy groceries, it might not be a spending problem. It might be a job problem. So if you want to understand why so many people are turning to BNPL in the first place, check out our last video. If you learned something, laughed, or just feel financially attacked in a helpful way, subscribe to the Billionomics family. Smash that like button, tap subscribe, and remember, split your payments, not your sanity. See you in the next one.